begin to click that like button and begin to make a comment once you see us live. If you don't see us live, just refresh your browser. Begin to click that like. Okay, we are live.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, so if everyone can click the like, please.
Yeah, we're live.
And as you see, our subscriptions are growing. We have Anna here with us tonight. Anna, you could introduce yourself, please. You don't have to show yourself, but if you could just introduce yourself and say how we met, if you don't mind. Hello, Anna?
I don't think she's here.
Anna? Anna, no, she's here. She's just muted. Maybe she stepped away for a minute.
I'm here. I was just having issues unmuting the phone.
Okay. All right. If you, as a matter of fact, let me introduce myself, and then we'll get to that where you can, let everyone know how we met. I like the story of how we met. It's amazing because it's one of the ways that I am building this channel is to communicate with people, and so far so good. All right. So I'm gonna introduce myself, and then I'll just, call out people to introduce themselves. Okay, so I am Savon Smith, founder of Savon's Academy Stars, a basketball program started in 2009. We are the provider for basketball, travel basketball for the city of Royal Palm Beach, which is in West Palm Beach, Florida. Founding players came to be from six founding players that I started the Savon's Academy Stars basketball program with. So I wanted to give those kids recognition, you know, for being the founding players. So this organization is called Founding Players, and our YouTube channel is Founding Players. What Founding Players does is we are a financial literacy program, and what we want to do is teach people how to manage and invest their money. And the stock market is a perfect example of, investments and just making your money, work for you. So, Pierre, if you could just introduce yourself.
Okay, everyone. My name is Pierre Abraham. I am a FedEx employee. I've been working for FedEx for 13 years now. And this is actually my third week investing in stocks. So it is a good opportunity for us to learn and then to understand the way the market is moving. So I'm here. I've been here for 3 weeks now, I'm gonna go for this long journey.
Thank you, Pierre. Andrew, are you there? Okay, Xavier, if you could unmute and just introduce yourself really quickly.
Oh, my mom's calling. I'm gonna text you. But I'm Xavier Smith, Savon's son. And I'm the 10th grade coach for Royal Palm Beach Stars. and I'm here to learn about stocks, and I'm ready to get started.
You've been started. Eh, you told me about Gap. Anna, if you can introduce yourself and just, let us know how we met.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Murdoch, and I am a medical biller. I've been a medical biller for 7 years, and I just got it started a couple of days with my friend, stocks. And it's so funny because I have no knowledge of it. And Mr. Savan came stumbling at my doorstep and introduced himself and asked me to subscribe to his channel. So I was asking him what exactly is his channel about. And then he started to explain about stocks and investment and basically how to gain financial freedom. And I laughed because it was so funny because I was just talking about the same thing. So I just thought that was just a crazy coincidence.
Yes. And I wasn't even supposed to be in that area. So
No.
things happen for a reason. And, you want to elaborate on that or you want me to?
You could go ahead and elaborate on it.
Yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be there. And it's been a pretty slow week this week for us, with the deliveries, so I happened to make a delivery and it led me towards, your way. And I wanted to get out of there so bad to return to the area that I'm used to, but they kept sending me orders from your area, so things happen for a reason. And I was able to meet you, close to the time when I just wanted to go back to the area that, I'm used to doing, but I was glad that we met because here you are right now and I'm able to help someone learn about the stock market and, like you said, gain financial freedom. And that opportunity is there for all of us, if we're willing to do our research. I do my research, but we want to be able to all do our own research. Pierre mentioned that he's been, with us for 3 weeks. And I'm sure within those 3 weeks, Pierre will share with us some of those things that he's learned. And I'm sure, Anna, you will do the same thing as we continue to meet. Alan, who's not here, once he get here, he'll introduce himself, and you can learn a lot from all of us. But as far as research goes, we all try our best to do our own research. Okay, Andrew, can you hear me now? Are you there?
Yes, I had to do some switching around, so my phone was acting up. I was on the phone at first, but now I'm on my computer. You can hear me?
Yes.
All right, good.
So with that being said, can you bring up the YouTube on your phone? That way you can hit the like button. And guys, while Andrew is talking and introducing himself and filling us in real quick, if you could just make a comment in the YouTube channel. We have an Airbnb in Jamaica. It's $85 a night. The proceeds, can benefit the children of Savans Academy stars as well as the founding players. So you can list that we have a 2-bedroom, and it's $85 a night, and it's in Ocho Rios, Columbus Heights, Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and it's also on Airbnb. So if you could just place that in the chat, please. All right, Andrew, floor is yours.
Andrew Jackson, home improvement contractor, and I just basically start doing this thing, and I'm very interested. So I'm in for the long haul, and it's nice to meet you guys. I hope this discussion tonight, we can all learn something from this so we can use it in our life to be prosperous. So, tonight is not the first or the last night for and anybody that just joined in. So it's a learning process, and it might get hard at times, but just stick it out. So far, what I learned, I put it to use, and it's helping me already. So this is a platform just to help people to to figure out a lot of stuff that, I learned a lot from this thing already that I didn't even know, because sometimes you think you know something and then no, a lot of people, out there can show it to you from different perspective and, you get it. But, it was nice. It's nice being on here. So it's going to be something for me to do all the time. So this is what it is. We don't want to take up too much time. Go ahead.
Yes, no problem, man. Appreciate that.
Hmm.
Listen, teamwork makes the dream work. I just threw that in the chat. Everyone, don't forget, put something in the chat. Andrew, you just finished speaking, if you don't mind, just throw something in the chat, that way there's some interaction.
Okay.
And Pierre and Nardia, who just joined us, same thing, if you guys are able to make comments in the chat, please go ahead and do so. We want this group to grow. It doesn't have to necessarily be a large group. It could be 10 of us. Right now I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, maybe 5 or 6 people on. If we grow to 20, and we can help 20 people, that's awesome. That's amazing. But remember, we're here and we're sharing information, and we could also be helping. We'll be at 1,000 subscribers before you know it, and we're going to grow from there. So even if the group is 20, people are listening, people are watching. So, we want everyone to do their own research, because we are not financial advisors, and we are just sharing information because we're doing our own research, and everyone on here, we want them to do their own research as well. So if I mention a stock that I'm getting in, and if I show you what the stock's doing for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can invest in that stock just because I told you. You have to do your own research, because I'm not a financial advisor, and you have to do your own research to be able to figure out if this stock that I'm in is a good stock for you. But I can definitely share the information, with you and with anyone who's listening. All right. So I'm gonna make mention, my son is on here. Xavier, he's still here, right?
Yeah, I'm muted though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make mention of this. I want you to unmute for a second, and I'm gonna make mention of this real quick. Kind of use it as example. Xavier is my son, and from the day I had a son, I wanted to give him the world if I could. The basketball program, which is called Savons Academy Stars, currently he is pretty much running that program. He said he was the coach of the 10th grade team, but he's really the man of the program, at age 21, because I kind of step aside so he can, get the understanding of how to actually run a business. And it's a nonprofit, so he's actually a board member. He's the secretary of the organization. So that's a big position. That can help him with future jobs. That can help him with be any company he decides to form. He's right on the job learning from running, the business that his father has started. So I put my son in a position to be able to, learn on the job. And he's doing that, in the last year or so, he's been doing that, so. But I wanted to make mention real quick, Xavier, about the stock that you told me about, which is Gap. I remember when you told me about Gap. I believe Gap was $5. How much?
I think it was like 6 or 8.
Nah, yeah, I think it was about 5 something. If it was 6, it dropped to about $5. So I've been holding that stock for a while. And because you told me about it, and I said, okay, look at this. My son's telling me about a stock. So right now that stock is $29. And that's a huge growth from the time that you told me. You remember when you told me?
Yeah, that was like 5, 6 months ago, 6, 7 months ago.
Okay, so that's a huge growth within the year. Now that's a valuable stock. So when you told me about Gap, Gap's been around for a while, and it's very valuable. There's growth stocks and there's valuable stocks, value stocks. And Gap is very, very valuable. So that cost for that stock was pretty low, when it was $5, $6, as you mentioned, so it grew pretty fast for being such a valued stock, so thank you for telling me about that stock. But I also want to make mention that we live and we learn. You did tell me about the stock, and we're here to learn from each other. Give me 1 second. Hold on. We're here to learn from each other. And I got sidetracked for a minute because I got a text. Nisha, if that was you, Nisha, that was you that text me. I will get to you in a second. Hold on. Oh, Andrew? Andrew? Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Nisha, who's helping us out in the chat, mentioned that she couldn't hear you when you were speaking. So yeah, I'm not sure. Next time you're speaking, if maybe you could just probably get a little closer. I'm hearing you, but I'm not sure. She's actually in Jamaica. So
Hi, Misha.
Yeah.
She's on now?
Yeah, Nisha, if you can communicate in the chat with Andrew, if you don't mind. That way, you guys can see the messages. So please communicate with Andrew in the chat. Nisha, let him know what, you're not hearing him, and he'll communicate back with you as well. Okay. So yeah, Xavier, I was saying that we live and we learn, and we're in this group to where we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to also learn from the mistakes that we make. We're going to get into some stocks that we may have to get out of and get back into some new stocks, so nothing is perfect. We're going to have our ups and downs, and we're going to be able to deal with these ups and downs and make sure that we fix anything that's broken. Things are going to break. The stock market breaks. It goes up, it goes down. It's never one way. So nothing is going to be perfect. 90% of my stocks are doing well. It's not 100%. So there's nothing 100, but majority of my, which is a high percentage, 90%, majority are doing well. But remember, I am picking stocks based off of my research, and I'm more of a valued stock investor. I'm not a fast growing. I don't look to buy companies that's fast growing, because normally fast growing companies, they are dangerous and risky, and valued stock is risky as well, but there's more value. A lot of times a valued stock should be $10 per share, and it may come down to $4. Now there's value in that. There's value in buying that stock. Gap, that my son told me about, that wasn't supposed to be $5, $6. Where it's at now, that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's a valued stock that took a hit. COVID-19 vaccine companies, biotech companies, those are valued stocks. Those companies, wherever they are right now, they're not going to remain there, but they're probably just a slower growth company, but it's all about patience. I have a lot of patience. So when I'm doing my research, I research valued stocks. Now, sometimes valued stocks can grow fast as well. You can blink your eyes and it can be like a growth stock, but it's not classified as growth stocks. Okay, so the more popular stocks that people get into is most likely growth stocks. People like growth. They like fast money. So a lot of people will more invest in growth stocks. but I'm a value stock investor. So I just want to point that out. So when I'm doing my research and I'm sharing my information, I'm actually sharing stocks that's of value. I don't get too much into growth stocks. So pretty much, long story short, I don't buy what other people are buying. Because normally people are buying the more expensive stocks. And I look for value. I look for low cost. That way I can make more money. I look for gap to go down to $5. I look for stocks that's worth $20 to go down to $10. I look for stocks that's worth $30 to go down to $15. Because I know $15 is not where it's supposed to be. Yep. So hopefully I gave great information on that. Okay. So Xavier, I'm going to use one example of something you told me. And again, we all can live and learn from it. And you may stay with, your choice that you've made, which is okay. But I'm going to share it just because it's your choice. We all have choices, but I can use it as example the same way you could use my whatever I've done as example as well. Just like you're building the program, you can use me as example of what I've done to learn from what I've done to maybe do it better. You don't want to do it worse. All right. So, but I'm going to use the information you gave me. You told me about Gap, and I invested in it, and it went to 29 from $5. And I remember speaking to you the other day or maybe a month ago, and you told me you bought some sneakers, which you think is of value to you, so that's a value investment where you see it being profitable a couple years from now. You invested in some sneakers that you thought were going to be profitable years from now. Now that is your choice. But I also mentioned to you that you shouldn't tell me about Gap and not invest in it. So it's all lessons learned. So if you were going to buy these sneakers and you bought them for $1,500 and you're letting $1,500 worth of sneakers sit there, to become a great value, years from now, that's great. But maybe diversify a little bit and maybe invest in Gap as well. I know I've led the way, to where I want to I have put some things in place, and I'm going to continue to put some things in place, for generational wealth, when I'm no longer on earth and you have your kids and, their kids and so on and so on, that's what we're trying to build here, so I do want to share the best information I can share with you, and I want you to share the best information you can share with me. So I'll jump into this as well. I remember when I was solely into paying attention to stocks only at that time. And I've been invested in Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies from 2017, 2018, 2019. I've been buying crypto. But the difference is I wasn't buying a lot of Bitcoin, but I was putting $5 here, $10 there in Coinbase. Now, it wasn't giving me a whole lot. Bitcoin was $10,000 at that point when I was invested in it. So it wasn't giving me a whole lot, but it's something. So in Coinbase, my portfolio in Coinbase looks pretty good, based off of the fact that Bitcoin going from 10,000 to 60,000 where it's at right now, I'm actually doing well from the small amounts that I kept buying, as many times as I could, so now I don't have a full Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, I diversify. I have a piece of everything. I have a full Ethereum and some, so I have a couple Ethereums, but I don't have a full Bitcoin, but I was investing in it when it was $10,000. So I'll get some of that. Well, I am getting some of that. Um, Xavier, you pointed out to me one day that I should be investing in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And once you said that to me, I think I said to you, it's not really moving, so I'm not really going to invest in it right now. But I was invested in it, but I wasn't focused on it because I said I invested in it already, but it's not moving. So I'm more focusing on the valued stocks like the vaccine companies that I know are going to grow back to where they're supposed to be. So that was my focus at that time. But I was still invested in crypto. You just reminded me that I should be paying attention to it. And it's funny, once you said that, Bitcoin started running. It wasn't walking anymore, it started running. Then once it started running and I saw that, I was on to everything. I started Googling blockchain technology, and I just started really doing my research and investing in the mining companies. So thank you for that, Xavier, for
Hmm.
bringing it to my attention that Bitcoin was going to start moving, because I think somebody told you. So the same way we're on this channel right now, we could be telling somebody what's happening and they could jump onto an opportunity. So thanks to my son for making me invest in Marathon Patent, Canon, FTFT, which is Future FinTech. So all of these blockchain technologies that I've made great money from so far was because my son pointed out that I needed to be invested in Bitcoin, which I was already. Like I said, I just wasn't watching it. And I was putting in slow, but I started putting in fast after I saw it started moving.
Yeah. So like, we got to make sure these people know what Bitcoin is and crypto is, because this is a informational thing. So that's like virtual money. We're not going to be using actual paper money anymore, especially not in like the States. But like, it's just going to be all virtual. So that's what crypto is virtual money.
Yep, and we're really not quite fully there yet. It's in mass adoption. It's being worked. There's some kinks that being worked out. PayPal is offering it. Square is offering to buy things, through their platform using crypto. But FTFT is like an online store, so FTFT, I'm invested in it and it's a slow mover. But the more and more this adoption take place and more people begin to learn about it and begin to spend more in crypto, then you're going to see the companies like FTFT, which is Future FinTech, be really, really profitable. I believe FTFT, you guys do your own research, is a great company that people need to research and get involved in because it's of value. So basically, cryptocurrency is of value. Mining companies are of value. So just think about researching things that's of value, especially with a change happening, new financial system being implemented. This is valuable information. So you need to buy valuable stocks. Yep.
Are you currently taking questions? Because I have a question for you.
Yes, we're taking questions. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so you had mentioned a crypto, basically it's going to take over money. So I'm fully aware we're going to cashless society, but what exactly is crypto?
Digital money.
Crypto is like direct deposits. It's what else? Like when you buy something online, it's just crypto money. But it's like through the banks. We don't have it personally. Not yet.
So basically it's like a cash app, basically, or like Zelle. So that's okay. All right, because I didn't understand what I meant. Okay.
Yep. And mining companies, which Marathon patent is a miner of cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies. So what that is, just like my son just mentioned, is just equal it to PayPal having a system that keeps track, or a couple computers working together that keeps track of your transactions, something that the bank would normally do. So basically mining companies are doing that. And you can see and receive your receipts at any time.
What are mining companies? You
Huh?
mean like actual mining companies?
What about them?
What are they? Like actual people that own mining?
Mining companies are like, let's just use Marathon patent, for instance, which is the miner of cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin, but basically any
Oh,
crypto
you said miner.
miner. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like, okay. Nah, it's my ears. They're playing tricks on me.
Actually, no, I heard the same thing too.
Sure.
Hey, don't be making fun of my accent. Anna, don't be making fun of my accent.
We have the same accents. It's okay.
Yeah. Yep. So basically record keeping. Okay. So, and keep this in mind about mining companies as well. You know, they should grow maybe in the next year to 2 years, but don't bank on them continuing to be around. Now they could be, because people change with the time. And what I'm trying to get at is that they could be around. They have to make adjustments, because let's take, for instance, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is on its way. And there's a lot of people that's skeptic about it. And what happened in the dot-com era? People were skeptic about the internet. So when people are skeptical and criticizing, that's when you're actually supposed to actually probably buy it and pay a lot more attention to it, because 85% of the population don't know whether they're coming or going. Equal it to going to school and there's 30 people in your classroom. Most of those people in the classroom are talking about what they did yesterday while the teacher is teaching. So they're missing something. So equal it to companies not getting into Bitcoin, and then 2 years from now, they want to get into it because they see everybody getting into it. That's what's happening. That's what's gonna happen. That's what always happens when something new comes about. People like the same old thing. I know people who live in the same state for years and they won't leave. I know people who live in the same country for years and they won't leave. They'll spend their lifetime there. People do not like changes. 85% of the population does not like changes. Part of the reason why people are not liking changes is because they're busy working a 9 to 5. You have to sit there at home and be prepared to go to work. So in our population, 85% of the people are adjusted to this. It takes 3 weeks to form a good or bad habit. So if you have a habit of doing a 9 to 5, you're not going to have a habit of taking a vacation. You're not going to have a habit of trying to go somewhere to kick your foot up and enjoy your life. Most likely people who work paycheck to paycheck are going to want to go to work to pay the next bill. So that'll be reason why a lot of people are skeptic about what they do with their money. So when something like blockchain technology come about, they most likely going to miss it. But this is why I'm doing the YouTube channel, so we can enlighten people and let people know, don't miss this opportunity. Too many opportunities has missed us already. We could have bought HTTP. We could have bought .com. We could have bought .net. We didn't. Majority of us did not. So we missed the .com era. Well, it's the new internet all over again. Improved internet, where everything is going digital. and you could actually buy the infrastructure, the beginning of this, the beginning stage of the development of companies coming to be. The ground, you can buy at the ground. It's happening right in our time, and we are lucky to be part of it. Very lucky to be part of it. So the valued stocks, that's what we need to invest in. Is Bitcoin where it's supposed to be? I don't think so, because we're not spending in Bitcoin. Where a lot of us aren't spending in Bitcoin. So that would make it of value. And if it's going to be worth, which I'm just throwing it out there, if this is going to be worth $300,000 and it's at $60,000 right now, is it really $60,000? You're getting a discount. That basically what happened. You're getting a discount. But like I said, 85% of the people don't know whether they're coming or going. So what are we hearing? Bitcoin is too expensive. Is it? Or should we be doing our research and buying Canaan, which is the mining company? Bitcoin is $60,000 right now. Should we be researching and buying CNET? CNET is $3.14. Bitcoin is 60,000. Did we miss Bitcoin, or are we going to miss CNET, who is a mining company of what's coming, which is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? We don't want to spend time missing it like we missed in the .com era. You know, and I think I'm making a lot of sense, because you know what? I'm paying attention. I'm now that kid in the class of 30 people that's paying attention, because I don't want to miss nothing that's being taught. And that's what I'm trying to get more people to be aware of by doing this on a weekly basis. We only do this Sunday night, but there's days when I'm out there working and I say, oh my God, I done met somebody that they want to invest. So I may jump on a Tuesday and call Pierre or Alan and say, hey guys, are you available to jump on with me? Just because I met somebody who's interested that I can change their life, because they really, really want to learn about investing. You know? Yeah. So Alan, I see you made it. So you want to jump in?
Hey, Savon, give me another few minutes.
Okay.
Just getting the kids out of the car.
All right, no problem. So while we're giving you a few minutes, I want to make mention that we have Nisha who's helping us out in the chat, guys. And Nisha, if you could just introduce yourself. I'm not sure if you're on here, if you're in the chat. Are you in the chat, Nisha? Nisha, are you in the chat, or let me know if you're in the chat, or are you in the Zoom? Are you only in the Zoom? I mean the chat? Can you communicate that to me, please, in the chat? Okay, I'm not getting anything. All right, so Pierre. Pierre, we're coming to you.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah, so any thoughts? Can you fill us in on anything?
Oh man, I wish I knew your son about 6 months ago about Gap. Oh man,
Hey, but you know him now, and you know that we
I
have
know.
yeah, and we have our group. So you're gonna, whatever you've missed, you're gonna catch another opportunity. So
Oh yeah.
that's gonna happen over and over and over. Because the stocks that I'm in that's doing well for me, I'm not even looking at them anymore. I'm just letting them grow, and they're gonna keep growing. And what I'm doing is finding new stocks. So I'm gonna talk to Anna real quick. Anna, if you could unmute.
I'm here.
Okay, so as I was just saying to Pierre about the new stocks, because he said he wish he would have known my son, a couple months ago, because it would have been nice for him to buy Gap at $5. Well, that opportunity is happening all over again, and I mentioned CNET to Anna, and Anna, you could do your research and maybe buy CNET, at
Well, I
your,
did last night. I put $200 in.
you ain't playing.
No, I'm not. I was up till 1
Yeah.
this morning looking at it and researching everything about it, and I'm like $200 in.
Hey,
Oh, she's not playing.
you're not
I have a question for you though, Savan. What about Roblox? Because I've invested so far in Roblox. I mean, I know it's not one of those companies, like a mining companies or anything like that, but what are your thoughts on Roblox?
It's like you mentioned to me, and I'll let Alan answer more of that when he comes on, but I'll answer a little bit. But I know Alan has been paying a lot more attention to Robot than I have, than I have. And I would say, it's a great investment, but me personally wouldn't invest in it at its early stage. Now, if I could have invested in it when it IPO, I mean before it IPO'd, where if the opportunity was there before it IPO'd, I would have invested in that stock early because then it's of more value. Once a stock IPO, lately, I should say, stocks used to IPO and they used to immediately go down. For instance, if you IPO at $15, 90% of the time, or even 95% of the time, that stock was going to devalue. It was going to go down. Nowadays, because of the stock market and what's happening, it's like things are IPOing and then flying through the roof. But then it's like you got to take your profit when they do that because it's going to drop so far down.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see that.
Yeah. So it's not usually a good way to invest your money because let's just say something IPOs at $70. I believe it IPO'd at 60. And let's just say it went to $75. If you have a good amount to buy some shares, not one, not two, not three, not four, because that's really not going to really dent a bill. It may dent a little. I can't even say dent a bill. As I say, I invest in valued stocks, and Roblox is not valuable enough for me. That's just my personal opinion. For the mere fact that if I can't buy 100 shares, 200 shares, 300 shares, it's not profitable for me. But I'm not telling anybody to not buy it. It's just my way of thinking. I am most likely not going to buy Roblox or whatever you call it for that reason that it's not going to give me my best returns.
Okay. You're right, because I do see it plummeting very, very, very rapidly.
Now, the stock market been around for over 200 years. So I'm saying what I know.
Right.
Most
The
stock,
only reason why I think I gravitate towards it is because it's something that the kids gravitate towards. And you see a lot of people actually capitalizing off the actual game. So
Mhm.
why not the stock? So that's why I was thinking, maybe now it's not the greatest, but maybe over time it will grow because if you really pay attention, a lot of people are making a lot of money because of this game.
Okay, I'll give you another scenario that whatever you believe in, you can profit in. And what I mean by that is I said what I said based off of me personally. I'm going to find a stock that's less money to have a bigger growth. That's value investing. Now, you who may look at Roblox and say, okay, it's popular to the kids, people are playing it. Okay, well, you may have to look at it like this. If it's $50, if it's $60, if it's $75, and it comes down to say $40, you buy, but you may not be able to buy 500 shares at $40. Maybe some middle class people will, maybe some poor people will. But the odds are not really on the side of I'm going to be very profitable buying a lot of shares at $40 to $100 a share. Now, if it's coming down, you don't give up on that stock because that's what the stock market does. So if you bought it at $60 and it goes to $75, $80 and you did not take profit because you left it in hopes that it could fly, if it begins to come back down, do not give up because, as you say, it's popular and it most likely gonna be of value. But remember, when it's coming down, it's becoming more of value. I personally just saying it's too high for me. The lower for me, the better. But it still could be of value even at $40. There is stocks that could be of value at any price. But you obviously have to evaluate, the company to see what's really going to happen. But a stock could be of value at any price. A stock it could supposed to be $500 and come down to $200, just like Tesla. Tesla could be of value because it was at $2,000 and then did a split. Now, what if it gets back there? But what you have to do with stocks like those, that's high and you can't buy a lot of shares one time, you treat it like a savings account. There were times, I should say, there are still times where people save in the bank. If you wanted to buy a house, people may put away $500 every paycheck. And over time, it could add up to $10,000. So maybe if you're putting away money into Roblox every time you get a chance, you will have enough shares before it actually reaches $300 a share. So you can actually save in it, just like you save in a bank. So that's the next way to look at it if you believe in Roblox. Save in it. So no matter if the shares are expensive, save in it. You understand what I mean, Anna? By saving?
No, I completely agree with you. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so don't give up on that stock. Save in it. You believe in it like that, you bought it, you're in, save your money in it. I'm saving in cryptocurrency. And listen, as I told you, I'm going to buy things more of value. So before Ethereum reaches $5,000, I'm saving in it because it's $1,800 right now. It's a no-brainer for me to save in it at a lower price. So I'm saving at lower prices. I don't want to save at the higher price. But at the end of the day, something like Roblox, even at the higher price, you can still save in it. Guess what? You can save in Bitcoin at the higher price. But I'm also saving in Canon. I'm also saving my money in Mara. Now, some people may think I'm crazy. Hey, you're going to save in that? You could lose your money. Well, guess what? We throw away money every day when we go to the store for milk and come out with sugar. We didn't need sugar. There's really no difference when most poor people like to give away their money. Give it away to stocks. Give it away to value stocks. Give it away to the fact that we all could be spending in Bitcoin. Give it away that Bitcoin is digital gold. Will it replace real gold? Probably not, most likely not. But it is the new technology. We might be, instead of wearing gold chain, you might get a company start creating Bitcoin chain. May become of value. Anything could become of value. If you got a bucket at your house and I came there to cut your lawn and I see that bucket sitting there, instead of giving me $10, I say, pay me with that bucket. Give me that bucket. That's of value. That's what people used to do back in the days. Anything was of value that the person that was doing the work wanted to be paid with. So there can be a lot of skeptic all they want with this new financial system and this new blockchain and this new digital money. They can go ahead and be skeptical, but you know what? The world has proven that it evolves, it changes. New companies come, old companies die. New companies make adjustment and they live. But if you ain't gonna change, most likely you're gonna die. Just like Blockbuster died.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, anybody else? Anybody else, guys? No more questions?
All right. Let's keep it to the crypto.
I have a
got a
question for Nadia. Can you hear me?
Huh?
For
Yeah.
me, for me,
Yeah, you have any questions?
no.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, someone was gonna say something, I think. I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, because I was gonna say let's keep it to the crypto. Because I know people are talking about Dogecoin. I know they say it was gonna be a joke, and then when I follow it, when the owner of the Mavericks said something about the Dogecoin, and also people start talking about it more. And then the other day, I think he said Starbucks had a deal also with Dogecoin. Was it Dogecoin or Bitcoin? I'm not sure. But
Doge.
what is your idea on? Yeah. So what's your idea on Dogecoin right now?
We don't know which cryptocurrency is going to be around. You know, they can go to zero, you know, but when the adoption really takes place, you know, a lot of these cryptocurrencies can go away. You know, that's given some profit right now. That's just the way it is. You know, it's like when you play, I use basketball, for instance. When I'm playing basketball, even when you watch the NBA or you watch college, not every team is going to make the playoffs. You know, some teams are going to be in it to try and win, and they're just not going to win. So equal that to companies that's trying to take advantage of the new technology, trying to get us place in the space, and they just not going to get that place in the space. Now, we don't know if Dogecoin is going to be one of those companies that's going to make it or go away. But as an investor, when you invest in a stock or you're investing in cryptocurrencies, you don't know. We may have an idea of what's going to happen because we speculating. But at the end of the day, you never know. You know, and that's because of imperfection. Now you can say, you know what, I believe that Dogecoin is going to do something. And the way that you begin to believe is because normally when you look at the world and the way the world turns, if a company is consistently being advertised and talked about, 90% of the time, or let's say 80% of the time, that company is going to be around because they're being pushed by the media. Now, if the media is not necessarily talking about you, you're most likely not going to be around. So you can kind of like start to figure out which currencies are going to be around, which stock is going to take a fall. And sometimes you can know which stock's going to take a fall based off of management, what the company is doing. Just like when Corona hit, you already know that Southwest Airline was going to be around because the COVID could last for years, and because they managed their financials so well, they had money for years. You know, so they don't have to be bailed out like some companies would have had to be bailed out because they managed well. I'll give an example of, which I hope I answered your question. I would buy Dogecoin, and I am in it, and I'm going to keep buying it. So I'm rolling with the fact that it's being adopted. People are talking about it. It's being advertised. I'm rolling with it. That's me though, me personally. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do as I say. Do as you want to do because you do your own research. But I'm going to say this. And as I said before, my son is part of my organization and he's there right now, in charge. We have a president and she's in charge, but my son is right there in line as the secretary of that organization at a young age. But I'm going to say this. We need to know this if we don't already know it. That if you're starting a business, a lot of people may not know this, and it depends on the person, but more times than none, you're better off starting a not-for-profit organization because you can learn a lot when you do that. It could be a solution to really learning how to run a real business. If you're going to start a for-profit, or if you want to start a for-profit, or if you have a for-profit company that you've started and you want to be profitable and you want that company to grow, they want to start a non-profit organization. And what I'm going to say is a lot of people are not used to working together. A lot of people are not used to coming together. And what happens when you have a not-for-profit organization, it's help that you're getting from people, whether around you or someone that you meet who is a stranger. As long as you explain what your mission is, people are, and it makes sense, or you make good sense of it, you are going to get people to help you. And the United States government, governments across the world, banks, sports organizations are actually set up as not-for-profit organizations, not all banks. But I'm telling you that if you want to actually run a profitable business, majority of these businesses have not-for-profit organization as well as for-profit organization. And the not-for-profit organization actually serve as lessons for them to learn how to manage their for-profit. And I'll get into the stock market on this. When we wasn't able to invest into companies until they IPO'd, you're buying them at a higher price when they IPO. And now that company is offering you stocks so they could raise money. So they could raise money. They're offering us stocks so they could raise money. Now, why are they offering these stocks as OTC now and earlier? So they can get in earlier and raise money. So once you figure out, why should I wait later on to raise money when I could raise money from the early stage? I might as well raise money from the early stage. That goes to show you that we're being we we're given an opportunity now to invest earlier. The world is changing. It's changing. So it's either we come together or it's either people learn to come together instead of thinking that they could work alone. And mind you, some people may be better off working alone. I used to like to work alone until I learned that, you know what, you're gonna have to really learn how to work with others. And I did that. And I became a more people person because I realized when I die, I leave alone. When I came in here, I came alone. Unless you have a twin, you come alone. So but when you're here in this world, you're not here alone. When you go and start your business, you need people. You have to hire people. You have to have a board. You have to have workers. You need people. You can't do it alone. So who are you servicing if you're not working with others? So when you form a company, you actually need it to be profitable, right? How do you make it profitable? If it costs you $50,000 to run your organization in a not-for-profit, you could draw it up and bring it to Chase Bank. Let's use Wells Fargo. You could draw up that it's going to take you $50,000 to run your organization. Draw it up and give it to Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, and tell them you need $50,000. And they will ask you how many kids you have. What does the parents pay? And you break all of that down into $50,000, that this is what the parents pay for. And Wells Fargo will still give you that $50,000 on top of the $50,000 that the parents already paid. Now ask yourself why they do that. One, they could save by giving. So we actually live in a world that people wants to give, but what are you doing to receive? So to be profitable, you actually have the opportunity to say, let me start a not-for-profit, cost $50,000 to run it. Parents are going to pay that, add up to $50,000 because you want to collect it so you could actually run your program. But because you are a nonprofit, now you can go to Wells Fargo and say, hey, Wells, can you assist me because it costs $50,000 to run my program? You done doubled your money just off of Chase wanting to give back. That is why a not-for-profit was set up by governments. People love to help. So I don't know if I could explain it any better than that. Maybe somebody out there can explain it better than that. But this is how we need to operate as people. When you're in a marriage, when you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, you need to work together because the government's actually set up the world for people to help each other. It's people that don't know the system and know how to help each other. People spend more time complaining than coming together. There is some nonprofits where they're not profitable because why? They don't know how to come together. But the opportunity is there to come together, and be profitable. So the stock market, it offers us that opportunity to actually come together, share our information, and let people know that, hey, invest. You can learn from me, and I can learn from you. Let's come together. This YouTube channel provides that opportunity for us to come together. Now, I may not have the experience of a lot of channels out there, but we're going to grow to that. And I'm confident enough, just because I don't have just because someone else may be more experienced than me, somebody could probably explain what I just explained better than me. But I'm not concerned about that. You know what I'm concerned about? The fact that I could lead by example and be transparent and show you what's happening. Now, I fail you guys whenever I'm not able to show you what I invested in and show growth. Then I failed you. But did I really? Or could I go back to the drawing table from failing in one company and make sure I rebound in another? So I'm confident enough to know that the world turns and I see what's happening. There's people out there who watch Bitcoin and use the chart to chart what's happening. And what I do is I just look, whether I understand the charting or not, which I do a little bit. Well, I don't understand it as much as some of the experts that is doing it and know exactly what, or they don't know exactly, but they have an idea what's going to happen. But I can see for myself what's happening when the thing is trading a certain way, whether up, down, or across. I can actually see and make my judgment. And, because I also listen to them, but not quite listen to everything, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but you can see the trend. The world turns, a wheel turns, the world turns, a square doesn't turn. So I'm not looking for a square to turn. So when I see things that normally happens, more times than none, it's gonna happen that way. Now, if I'm wrong, the odds wasn't on my side at that time, but most likely it's gonna fall back on my side. So Pierre, I think I answered your question and elaborated on quite a few things. Because I get into it because I want you guys to think about all those little things. I do well with my stocks because of my thought process. I don't just buy stock, it's my thought process. Like CNET, if I'm gonna be wrong, then because I'm scared, I don't get scared. I'm one of those people that in the eye of the storm, I'm still gonna be like, what do I need to do to get out of here? I'm not a panicker, and thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for sports. I don't panic. I learned that from watching. You know what? I can give Michael Jordan a lot of credit for that one, to be honest with you. I learned from actually watching Michael Jordan. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. I'm a big Kobe fan. And one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of Jordan and Kobe and Jordan much before Kobe is because, and I actually grew to love Kobe because of Michael Jordan. Because I'm telling you, growing up, when people were watching Jordan and not really paying attention to the things that he do, I don't look at nothing about him slapping his teammates in the head, getting on them, saying bad language to them. I don't pay attention to none of that. What I pay attention to is his performance when the lights are on. And I watch that, and I always said to myself, I want to be able to be that person that people can count on in all times. Whether I'm passing the ball to somebody whether I'm passing the ball to a Steph Curry or I'm passing the ball to a Draymond Green, I trust them both. If Steph Curry got two people on him and Draymond Green is standing on the three-point line by himself and people think he can't shoot, and he probably think he can't shoot, as long as he's standing over there, I'm going to make him believe that he can shoot, and it's going to start in practice. But a lot of people going to hate on him, but I'm going to believe in him because I'm going to tell him shoot that shot, because everybody can shoot. It's all about believing if you're going to make this shot or not, but you had to take that chance. So I'm not going to pass the ball to somebody who's under the pressure because it's going to make me turn the ball over. So I'm going to make the best decision for me to not throw that ball in a bad position where Steph Curry can't even get it, or leave it to chance where he has to do all kinds of things to get it. I want to give it to the guy that's open, that's going to take the shot. And even if he miss, it's an opportunity. We don't win them all. But if he makes it, his confidence goes up. And then he starts to believe that he can make that shot. And that's how I look at the stocks the same way. That's why I invest in valued stocks, because I can actually see the future, whether I can really see it or not. Because I remember when I was 10 years old, and I know where I'm at right now, and I have the experience of what happened over those years, and I have the experience of seeing people do the same nonsense over and over, and I happen to see how the stock market worked, and I happen to see how American Airline can go from $20 down to $10, and I happen to see how American Airline can go from $10 back to $15, and I could see it go from $15 to $12, and I could see all of this. You got analytics. They like to analyze what's going on. Why can't I? I know what's going on because I pay attention. Everything is on the internet. And even more reason why I'm going to invest in the internet, because it's like, dog, look what's happening. It's a no-brainer. Who wants to miss that? Not me. I missed that before by not having the education that I have now. So again, to answer your question, Pierre, I will buy Dogecoin 1 billion times. What I got to lose? What I got to lose?
You're right.
If I have $10,000, let me say this: if I have $10,000 and I ain't got a wife to worry about, and I make the decision to just put $10,000 in Dogecoin, because I ain't got nobody that's gonna tell me why you do that. You shouldn't have done that. A lot of times we're afraid to do things because people throw us off our game and don't believe in us. Sometimes it's best to get where you're going without any distractions. Now you may have that wife or that person who say, you know what? We lose money all the time. What's your thoughts on Dogecoin? I believe in it. I believe in it, babe. Well, guess what, babe? If you believe in it, I believe in you. And if we lose it, we just get it back. How are we going to get it back, babe? I'm going to work the same way I worked and got that. I'm going to work it again. You'd be surprised how far you get in life thinking like that because of support. Sometimes that's all it takes, just to get people to be part of a positive group, and things happen. That's it. Things were happening for me because I was positive. I live and I learn. And I just decided to start sharing it with people. When I did this YouTube channel, it was just, okay, let's teach the financial literacy. Things just fall into place where I just say, hey, it's a no-brainer. Why not talk about investing? So, and it just fell into place, and we're going to get better and better at this. But Alan, where are you?
Sorry, I had to unmute. I was listening.
Now, I know you're listening. I know you listen. I'm passionate and I'm excited. There's excitement. I literally work every single day, 7 days a week, and it's not easy, but I constantly do it every day because I see what's happening.
Definitely.
Alan, I told you I was not going to invest in anything in the next 3 days from Friday, and I just put from Friday, as a matter of fact, from Thursday to Sunday, I just said I wasn't going to invest in anything from Thursday on. So you know what? I'm well prepared for Monday or Tuesday whenever I decided, okay, I'm going to do it today, because I made sure I keep all of my stocks that I'm invested in, and I tried my best to accumulate a good amount of money to where I can pay some bills and I can say, okay, let me invest this amount right here into some new stocks or add more money to some new stocks. You know, so there's a lot of passion that I have based off of the fact that I think I think I'm lucky. And I'm going to say we are because I'm going to use me as example. I think I'm lucky. I think I'm lucky to be living in this time. And I think a lot of people should be paying attention to this time. Don't cry over COVID-19. Use COVID-19 every time some disaster or some crash or just something happens. It's like it's used as an opportunity to make money. You tell me why. It just happens. It happens. Why, when somebody die, they make more money? Makes no sense. But that's what happens. So, you know what? I don't want to wait till I'm dead. I'm going to take control of this time. So I'm excited about that. So if you guys ain't going to shut me up, I'm probably going to keep talking.
I'll go ahead and jump in. No, I really like what you said about losing it all and, coming back, because that made me think about something important I heard, because you could have a multi-millionaire go completely broke and they can get that same money again. And people wonder why, because it wasn't the money that made them a multi-millionaire. It's actually what's in their head. A lot of people went broke. P. Diddy went broke. All these guys went broke when they were trying to attain their goals and reach their dreams. So it's just a lesson, man. So I basically took that away from what you were saying. It made me think about the saying that the pastors like to say: a setback is just a setup for a comeback. So
Yeah.
I've been there where I've been down and out, and man, things were tough for me, man. So, but anyway, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Alan. I'm a licensed realtor, sell houses for a living, and also work for a major bank. I've been in banking for about almost 14 years now. So I know you don't make much money when you put your money in the bank. But yeah, man, that's what I wanted to share. And I do have some plays I wanted to talk about. So I know, I don't know if the previous person that was speaking earlier still on the phone about Roblox. She's still on the line?
Yes, Anna.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure and give my thoughts on Roblox. I have kids, 3 kids, so I view Roblox a little bit differently. My daughter is addicted to Roblox, so I know the value of Roblox. But just like Savon mentioned, me personally,
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
That's fine. Just like Savon mentioned, so because I told Savon about Roblox and I talked about it on previous calls. I know I'm joining the call late, running around with the family today. Roblox, I personally did not get in, but I did boast about it because just like Savon, I feel like it's too high. So if I get 30 shares of Roblox and it goes up $10, I'm not making money, right? Because they didn't give people a chance to get in early. And when I read up on Roblox, they didn't go through a normal IPO. What they went through was they had their private investors who got in early. They allowed them to sell their shares through an IPO. So it's different. They did not go through a regular IPO, because if they went through a regular IPO, their shares would have been lower and we would have been able to go get in early years ago. That's why when they opened, they said they were going to open at $45, and I put an alert on it and I talked about it on the last call. And when I got the alert, it opened up at like $65 or $70, you know? If you're buying 30, 40, maybe 100 shares at $70, you may not make as much as you want compared to someone who got in early, who bought the shares at $15. They're making money. That's why they're allowing those private investors to sell their shares, because they're making the profit. If they bought it at $15 and now the company is going public and allowing the private investors to sell it at $70, and they got several hundred thousands of shares, they're making money.
Mhm.
You know, so that, me personally, that's why I didn't invest in it yet. And I say yet in very bold letters, because I want to get into Roblox once it starts dropping. And I believe Roblox is going to be a very big stock, because they have, and I spoke to Savon about it, they haven't even implemented blockchain technology yet. And I read more into Roblox because, again, my daughter is very in love with Roblox. She plays it all the time, begs me to play it, as long as she does her homework. Roblox allows users to create games, right? And sell those games through the platform for what they call Robux. Those Robux can be converted to real, actual US currency, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So I feel, me personally, based on what I've looked up with Roblox, they're going to be big. I think it's going to, in no time, eventually it's going to be a $500 stock, because the fact that they allow users to create games, right? You got the new technology called NFT. If they allow the users to create a unique game and sell their games through the new NFT and DFI technology, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. And they haven't even implemented Bitcoin technology and fintech and all that stuff into the game yet. So trust me, I believe, and again, I like what Savon said. He said, if you believe in a stock, you have to hold that belief. Mark Cuban missed out on the Ring doorbell because he didn't believe it at that time, right? So when they asked Mark Cuban, a multi-billionaire, what was your biggest regret on Shark Tank? I believe he says Ring doorbell, because the guy who created the Ring doorbell was on Shark Tank. And I don't believe he got a deal, you know? But now Ring doorbell, a lot of people have Ring doorbell. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. I believe they got sold, but the founder made a lot of money. But they started on Shark Tank, and what happened? They got rejected. You know, so again, if you believe in something, always go for it. Roblox to me is going to be big, but for me,
I
it's not the
agree.
time now. It's not the time now for me to get in. But I'm watching it. I'm watching it with a hawk's eye, because as soon as it starts dropping to where I'm comfortable, I'm gonna put some money into Roblox, because I feel like the future is going to be big for Roblox.
I
And just
agree.
like,
Me too.
yeah, yeah, especially if you have younger kids, then
I
I
do.
think okay, there you go. See, I have three. I have
Yeah.
a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old, right?
I only have
So
a 7-year-old, so I know, and I play with him all the time. So I know it's gonna
yeah,
be big.
yeah. So so if you have little kids around that age, then I think you look into it more, because you're like, why are they playing this stuff? It's a weird game. Like, why they got these kids screaming on the screen? Like, what is it? But I see how crazy they go over, and I'm like, this thing is gonna be big, you know? And moving on really quick, not to talk too much and take too much time.
No, man, keep going.
My thoughts on Dogecoin. I'm just like Savon. I buy it. If it's a joke, let it be a joke. It's a joke to put my money in the bank and earn 3 cents. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
So, if Dogecoin is a joke, why is Mark Cuban starting to offer his products and his materials for Dogecoin, right? I'm going to put some of these stocks in the YouTube channel when I'm done talking, so you can go back, or Savon could type it in. We're in another stock called Kainos. What do? They're an air purification system. It's a penny stock now. Their air purification system tested 98% effective against COVID. Right? So this is a penny stock you want to get in early. They created an air purification system that has been tested to clean the air from COVID. And also, what I like about Kainos is they're involved in blockchain technology. They created a machine that you can purchase using Dogecoin. Again, they're saying Dogecoin is a joke. And the machine, they partnered with another company where that machine can mine Dogecoin. Again, they're saying Dogecoin is a joke. Right now, there's a petition for Starbucks to start using to accept Dogecoin. So a lot of celebrities talking about, if it's a joke, I'm gonna take the risk. I'll risk my, because Bitcoin, remember, Bitcoin, that's 50,000. Bitcoin hit 60,000 a coin. Bitcoin was 10 cents years ago. Tesla, which is around what, it's like $600-700. If you look back on Tesla 5 years ago to this day, Tesla was like $45-75. And what Savon was basically saying is you got to get in early. When you get in a little bit late, like there's nothing wrong with buying the big folks like Tesla, Nike, and all that stuff. But how many shares can you really buy unless you're a multi-millionaire and I mean, you could put in a good amount. But there's some plays, and I know I'll state them really quick. And Savon, if you get a chance, you type them in the chat. If not, I'll go ahead and type them. Like I remember you mentioned earlier, you said payment platform. I have a company called, and I typed this in the chat already, TSNP. It's like a stripper. TSNP is a payment platform that uses blockchain technology. That's a stock ticker that you want to look into. You can get into it early, right? You're trying to give me a stripper. Who's that? Another ticker you have, for example, and I'll give you a good example. There's one called Tattoo Chef. I'll talk about it. I believe Savon's not in it, but I'm in it. This Tattoo Chef is basically a vegan company that creates frozen food. Like, why would you, like, you can buy Beyond Meat, but Beyond Meat is like $200 a share. Tattoo Chef is like $20 a share. You understand?
That's what using her kitchen.
I got into Tattoo Chef when it was, I think, around $12. So that's what Savon was saying. You got to get into stuff a little bit early, because once it gets high, and you got to get a good amount of shares before you really see, making a difference when it goes up. What's another one? Savon may have mentioned this, INTV, which is a nice one. Savon's in that place. They're a crypto mining company. What they do is they reduce operational costs for businesses. And they have several businesses within one business. IDEX, IDEX. That one I would advise you, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. Invest at your own risk. But IDEX is a good company that I'm in. And I have several hundred shares because I believe in that company. They're big in the electrical EV business, not only electrical vehicles, but the green business, period. Another example, ABML. A is in Apple, B is in Bob, M is in Michael, L. The good thing I like about this company is they recycle lithium batteries. They're opening a site in California near Tesla. This is a company that could possibly get acquired by Tesla. What do you think is going to happen to lithium? Eventually, the same thing's happening to gas. We're going to start running out of lithium. We're going to need companies that can recycle them. So they're going to be pretty big. That's just one example. And now that we're out of lithium, what can you look up? Companies that do mining, because where do they get the lithium? They get it in the ground. What do we have a shortage of? We have a shortage of lithium. So you can look into mining stocks. How are they going to transport the lithium? By boat, right? So look into some shipment companies. I'm invested in another company called C as in Charlie, T as in Tom, R as in Ralph, M as in Michael. That's a penny stock right now, but they've been spending several $1 million in the past 2 months buying ships because they know as soon as things start opening up, they're going to have a lot of work. They're going to be very busy. So they're buying ships from shipping companies that manufacture the ships. Some of these companies they're buying ships from, they're going broke, they're going bankrupt. So they're buying these $15 million ships that should be going for $25, $30 million. They're buying them at half the cost. Again, CTRM is a penny stock. I'm not telling you to invest in it. I'm just telling you some plays that I'm in. I bought it at 34 cents. At one point, it went to $1.97 a share. Another company, Zoll, keep saying Z, XALL. That's a company involved in the fintech technology business. You want to look into that business, that stock, because that's a penny stock. Even the Ford Motor Company. Ford has been making big muscle cars for years, but Ford knows that. Me and Savon discussed this the other day. Ford has to make a pivot. So Ford, I believe their stock is gonna really go up eventually. I don't know when, but it's gonna go up because Ford is gonna pivot to electrical vehicles. Don't be surprised when you see electric 500 horsepower Mustang, because it's coming. They know they have to pivot to electric. Audi is doing it now. Audi has a nice sports GT, all electric. At first, what do we think about electric cars? They're slow, they're ugly. But now you got some nice electrical vehicles that could go 0 to 100 in 0.5 seconds, and they're all electric. Audi has one. You know, so Ford is one you want to keep on your radar. EFT, we talked about that, I believe, before. If you want a piece of all the blockchain companies, you have an EFT called BLOK. They invest in some of the best Bitcoin and blockchain companies. So it's basically, EFT is basically a stock you can invest in that has a bunch of companies within it, right? And it's a little bit more safe and secure because you have multiple companies within one stock. There's a shortage, and I talked about it before, there's a shortage of semiconductor chips, right? So now they're trying to get companies to create more semiconductor chips. Semiconductor chips, they put in the electrical vehicles to keep them running. Some companies are actually shutting down their plants temporarily because they don't have enough semiconductor chips. Guess what? There's a stock that you can look into, a 3D printing company called NNDM. N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, D as in David, M as in Michael. They have a patented 3D printing technology where they use metal. So this is a company that's probably going to get very profitable because they're going to be tapped by the auto industry to create semiconductor chips. They don't want people doing it by hand anymore. They're going to want computers doing it. Again, that's what Savon is kind of banging into our heads, that you got to get in early. You know, you got to get in early. What's another company? IQST. They're a blockchain-based telecommunications business. I just looked up their stock kicker. It's $1.15. Compare that to Roblox. Roblox is what, $70 right now? Wouldn't you like to get into a company like IQST? Do your own research. They're a blockchain-based technology telecommunication service, right? So let me see if I have any more.
I have a question for Alan.
Sure, go ahead.
Can you repeat the company that you said before? The N.
NNDM. N is in Nancy, N is in Nancy, D is in David, M is in Michael.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll post these in the chat.
Anna, they're
I'm here. I'm here.
I listed them in the chat, and Alan will repost them again. But I listed them in the chat. That's why I want us to also see if we can write in the chat too, guys. You know, that way we see some interaction, you know, in the chat, you know, rather than just us on here in the Zoom, you know. So if you don't mind to continue putting some words in the chat, you know, because those ticker symbols are in the chat that Alan was just mentioning.
Okay.
Oh, and one more thing before you go again, Alan. I was speaking about valued stocks. You know, valued stock are basically stocks that you just get at a better price, you know, because it's not really supposed to be at that price. You know, it's a slower growth stock, but because of what's happening, those stocks can get to a certain level, you know, quicker than you think. So like a IQST, based off of what crypto is doing, is not supposed to be at that price, you know. So that's what I meant, when I said, would I get into Roblox right now, or would I rather get into IQST? I would rather get into IQST because I can buy a whole lot of shares for that price and take that risk, because there's a hell of a lot of more money that I'm going to gain from having a bunch of shares than to buy Roblox at this price that it's at right now. You know, so that's a better investment for me to buy. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not buying Roblox. I'm still going to. I'm just knowing that I'm going to buy more shares of IQST because there's more of an upside, you know, at that lower cost. You know, there's
Definitely.
more on my money.
Yeah, just like Roblox, I'm waiting for what we call the pullback. Once everybody starts pulling back and taking profits and it starts dropping, I know the value in Roblox, so I'm going to buy in at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right now, too many people are in there and they're inflating the stock price. I know eventually it's going to be a $500 stock. I don't know when, but for now, I want it to drop low where I feel comfortable. So yeah, we spoke about IQST and I did my research and I went in. And again, that's why we're informing all the listeners to do your research. You know, I do my research. I read on the company, look up the CEO, see what they do. And if they partnered with other companies, I look up that other company and I see what that company does, because partnerships bring value, you know? So I see some companies not involved in blockchain, but they're well, not involved with blockchain directly, but they partnered with another company that specializes in blockchain. So guess what? Now they're in the blockchain business or Bitcoin, you know? Let me see if I had any more. I have another one, CCIV. I talked about that before. One of the guys who worked for, well, this is what we call a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. They're basically like Shark Tank. They go around with they call blank check firms. They basically go around buying companies or partnering with the companies or you know, they whatever they decide the split is, whether it's 50-50 or 80-20, or let me buy you all together, right? So this company called CCIV bought a company called Lucid Motors. That's how they brought Lucid Motors public. Lucid Motors is going to be one of the biggest competitors for Tesla. Why? Because they have a battery that lasts longer than Tesla. And again, this is my opinion, that their car looks better than Tesla. Again, that's my opinion, right? Their first car is going to be around 169,000. You could Google this. And the first car, I believe, is called a Lucid Air. So they're doing a little bit what Tesla did. Their first car is going to be very expensive, and their next car is going to be a little, you know, mid-grade, around the 60s to 70, you know, where you know, us regular folks can actually buy one. So that's another company you want to get in early. That stock is only $22. Compare that to Tesla. Tesla's like what, $500, $600, $700. So that's what Savon was saying about getting in early. And let me see if I have one more. Another stock that's really nice, Ebon. Me and Savon were talking about that. That's a good stock. They're involved. They're a company that creates Bitcoin mining machines, and they're basically involved in the blockchain technology. So E is in Edward, B is in Bob, O is in Oscar, N is in Nancy. Don't jump into these stocks. I'm just telling you some plays I'm in. I have several positions. I'm just telling you some of the plays that I'm in right now, only some of them. Again, do your own research, invest at your own risk. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to run down.
Yeah, I was typing while I do my best trying to type as you were speaking. You mentioned well, someone said that they can't find some of these stocks in Robinhood. So I
Okay.
stated that, you know, you could find some of their OTC. I try to explain it in the chat, but you can go ahead and still explain it. But I'll just let you know that I explained it in the chat that it's OTC stocks, and I explained what OTC stands for, and that they could find them in TD Ameritrade. And you could elaborate on it.
Okay, and I said this on previous calls that we had, or meetings, shall I call it. You want to have more than one trading platform. Robinhood is not enough. Robinhood is fine. I have Robinhood too, and I will keep it because every trading platform has its benefits. Me personally, I have 4 trading platforms. Some people may see that as excessive. I don't. Some people may have 5 or 6. I personally have, my main trading platform is TD Ameritrade, because a lot of the tickers I gave you, you will not find them on Robinhood. You will find them on TD Ameritrade. Some of them you'll find on Robinhood, but not all of them. That's why it's important to have more than one account. What I love about Robinhood, they allow you to buy fractional shares. I don't know any other trading platform that allows you to buy fractional shares or Dogecoin, right? So Robinhood, I do have that and I use it. But my main account is TD Ameritrade. Open one up. I can't remember how much it is to establish a TD Ameritrade, maybe 100, maybe 500, but that's my main account. I also have another trading platform called Webull. What I like about Webull is they have what you call pre-market and post-market trading. So I can start trading stocks, and I'm not telling you to do it. It's very volatile, and not a lot of people wake up this early. Sometimes I don't. But you can start trading as early as 4 in the morning, 4 a.m. with Webull. And their trading platform closes at 8 p.m. So I can trade from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. I can trade stocks. But some tickers that I mentioned, you can't find on Webull. So I have every trading platform I have has its purpose, right? And what else I have? I have Robinhood, Webull, TD Ameritrade, and I have my 4th trading account is through JP Morgan Chase Bank. I have a trading account with them. Why I like them? Because I can transfer money directly from my savings or my checking into my trading platform, and I don't have to wait for it to clear. Some of the platforms, when you make a deposit, it won't allow you to buy, say, penny stocks. For example, if I want to get into some of these penny stocks I gave you today, I want to get into them tomorrow, I would not be able to unless I transfer the money by Friday before 4 p.m. because the money has to sit in your account for at least 24 business hours. And I'm glad I remember to mention that to you guys, because sometimes if you know you want to get into a play and it's going to jump based on some news that came out, and it's Friday, and you better transfer that money by Friday before 4 p.m. or you're not going to be able to buy the share. Again, that's just for OTC stocks, penny stocks. That's a rule they have, a restriction. And I learned that the hard way. So you can always keep what some of these stock guys and ladies like to call dry powder. Some people use, like Siobhan said, use your trading account like a saving account. The banks are paying you 1 cent. You could leave some money in your trading account. Stimulus is coming out. Guess what's going to happen to the market? These stocks are going to start to jump. I'm telling you. And last thing I want to say is, I used to trade back in the day, and I used to get scared when I seen red. And you know what I did? I pulled out all my money. But when you see a stock going down, you didn't lose money. It's just like a roller coaster. Roller coaster goes down. Eventually, what happens? It goes back up. When you see a stock going down, if it's a good company and you believe in that company and you read the news and did your research, for example, if I invest in a company and the company's like, hey, I got to raise some money, so I'm going to start offering shares to corporations at a discount, guess what's going to happen? If that stock has $50, it may drop down to 20. And I'm like, man, I have 100 shares. I'm losing money. I'm not losing money, because as soon as a company does what we call a stock offering, meaning they're trying to raise money to grow, it drops the stock. And I believe Siobhan mentioned that earlier. The stock drops. I look at it as a clearance sale. So that's how you got to look at it. Not every stock. I'm just saying, if you believe in the company and you did your research and you believe it's a strong company and you see it dropping, you shouldn't be fazed by it. You should actually be adding more shares if you can. Don't throw your rent money in there. If you can. That's all. I'll stop talking now.
And hey, we got a listening audience, but you know what? That's why we do our research and that's why we share, Alan. You know, Andrew, do you have anything you want to add? You know, and hey, Alan, Andrew done went mute. Like we don't hear much from Andrew, man. What's up? Andrew, where are you? Okay. Here, anything? Xavier, anything?
I mean,
Anybody? Huh?
I can say something, but yeah. I mean, I just had something I went to my mind, because you guys, because I remember on your text you said to invest in infrastructure, and then I was sitting over here, and then my mic is because right now since it's been 2 weeks since I've been trading, my mind keep, I've been thinking a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas come in my head from left and right, because I know the last administration wasn't really into climate change. So I know the new administration is into climate change. Is there a, because we're talking about the new world, because new technology, blockchain, Bitcoin, that's the technology, that's software and stuff like that. But how about climate change? Is there a market for climate change?
Alan, have you researched anything to, find them, companies that's really part of that climate change?
Well, for me, Pierre, climate change is, it depends how you look at it. Me personally, I'm involved in more like electrical, clean energy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I would have to look at my my portfolio, but there's one stock called B as in Bob, L as in Larry, ST. It's a penny stock. It's really cheap right now. So if you buy it, again, you buy it with pennies, literally. You could buy several thousands of shares with pennies. For me, I just play with that stock, but that's a company that buys clean energy facilities. They invest in clean energy facilities that use renewable energy. So when you say green and climate change, what is the reason why climate change is a big deal? Because of fossil fuels and basically stuff people are doing. The gas. Everyone is trying to get away from anything that has to do with destroying the earth. So when you say climate change, that's what you're investing in, or that's what you should have in your portfolio. These EV companies, electrical vehicles, these wind turbine companies, some of these satellite companies. I would have to look through my portfolio. Sometimes I can't remember these companies that I have off my head, but I'm invested in, I would have to look up the ticker. But how do you think they find out, basically that we need climate change, right? They need the satellite to determine that. So climate change could be several ways: green energy, satellites, wind turbines, hydroelectric. So I mean, climate change is a problem that this administration is definitely taking on. But me personally, I don't know any stock that's directly like, okay, we're with climate change. That's a good question. But I'm invested in companies that's trying to change what's happening to our environment to impact climate change. If that makes sense.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Right, because part of climate change is getting a lot of these gas vehicles off the road. Right?
Yeah. A lot of energy. Yeah, your energy for that.
One of the biggest and don't quote me on this. It's just I watch the news, and and I read. So you have other countries that's heavily polluted, like China. They have a problem with pollution in the air because a lot of vehicles on the road, a lot of So electrical vehicles in China is a big thing, right? Because the climate in China is really affected by the amount of vehicles they had on the road. So that's why any company can go, electrical vehicle company can go to China and they could thrive as long as you have electrical vehicle. NIO is another stock I'm invested in. I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners have NIO if you got in a little bit early. The electrical vehicle company that's big in China. Right? But I don't know any specific company that like, okay, the only thing is climate change. Well, a good ticker is that you can look into IDEX if you don't have that yet, IDEX. I know they recently did a partnership with San Francisco. It's an organization through the city of San Francisco that focuses on clean energy and climate change. So that's a company I talked about on a previous call. They're involved in everything clean, green, and everything green. So if you guys get a chance, and ladies get a chance, look into the ticker symbol IDEX. I is in igloo, D is in David, E is in Edward, X is in X-ray. Look into that ticker. That's a really good one, and it's cheap right now.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Here,
Thank you.
I'm gonna, if you look in the group chat, I am putting some ticker symbol towards your climate change ETF.
Oh, there you go.
I'm putting them right now. All right, so they're in the chat right now. So, they're ETFs. So basically, IDEX may be part of them. So like some of the companies that Alan just mentioned, any company that's trying to solve that problem is going to be most likely one of the companies chosen, in these ETFs, which are a bunch of companies put together, index funds, that's definitely doing well. So, yep. So that might be a good investment if you wanted to be part of the climate change investment.
Definitely.
I have a question for Alan.
Wait, hold up. Andrew, you came out of nowhere. Go ahead.
I've been listening to you, dude. I have
I've been
to.
calling for you. I've been calling for you.
Yeah, I tried to unmute you, but somebody else
came
came on. Somebody else came on, so let's let them talk. That which one of them platforms is it open at 4 a.m.? Is it Weibo?
Weibo. And I'll say this, what I encourage everyone to do listening, if you haven't done it yet, get your family involved in stock, in the trading. My wife, personally, she's involved. She has 2 trading platforms, and it's fun. It's fun. Get your family involved, get your kids involved.
Yep.
And what I'll tell you about Webull is when you open up a Webull, just like Robinhood, you can refer your spouse or refer your girlfriend or refer your boyfriend, whatever. Or refer your son or your daughter if they're old enough to open up a trading account, because Webull gives you 2 free shares when you refer. And I believe it's $100. You got to put $100 minimum to open it, and they give you 2 free shares. You don't know what shares you're going to get; it's random. But they give you 2 free shares, and you could do. And once those shares settle, which could take about 2 to 3 weeks, you can do whatever you want with it. If you don't like the company you gave you could keep it or you could sell it.
Question: When you put the money, do you have to wait to start using it? For you say, like, even there's some of the other ones you have to wait and for it to sit 24 hours, you say?
Well, I'm sorry, could you
when you transfer money into it, can you start immediately or you have to wait a bit?
Well, first step is to get the account open. You have that part?
No.
I
wasn't using it, so because I remember you mentioning like a couple of them you have to wait when you transfer the money. You got to sit for 24 hours, you said?
For OTC stocks, for over the counter stocks, basically they don't trade on the major trading tickers like NASDAQ. So those are over-the-counter stocks. Those are more risky, and they're cheap. They're normally penny stocks. That
Yeah.
don't make that doesn't mean that they're not good stocks. Some of these stocks do what we call eventually graduate. You could remember Bitcoin was a penny stock. It was 10 cents at one point, but Bitcoin has graduated and it became a high value stock. But when it was 10 cents, no one cared about it. But with Webull, you establish the account. I know Webull has certain restrictions too, and I want to mention this before I forget. You want to be careful with day trading because not every platform allows you to day trade. And I'll get to your question. Basically, if you sell a stock, you try to use the same money to buy a new stock. In Robinhood, they're basically going to mark you, and you got 3 times to do it. I don't know if it's in a month or in a week. If you get 3 violations through Robinhood, they'll categorize you as a pattern day trader. It's called a PDT rule. P as in Paul, D as in David, T as in Tom. If you violate that rule, they're going to restrict your account for several months.
Damn.
Okay, so I'm just letting you know. You can look it up, Google it, or go on YouTube. Look up PDT rule. They don't want people day trading, at least on that platform. Some platforms will let you do it all day, but if you violate that rule, they'll restrict your account. Where if you deposit money, you can't start trading until several weeks. So just be careful with that. But what I was talking about, Andrew, is say you want to buy a penny stock through. I'm gonna use TD Ameritrade as an example. Say I just Savon told me today about a stock. I'm like, man, I want to buy it tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, I transfer $600 to my account. I can buy stocks maybe like Starbucks, maybe like McDonald's or Nike, or those are big names, right? But if I try to buy maybe a smaller company like one of the ones I mentioned, an error message is going to come up. It's going to say you don't have sufficient funds to buy this stock because it's an OTC stock. They only put those restrictions on OTC stock. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you
sense.
want to start trading, if you want to, again, you got to put the money before 4 p.m. because that's the cutoff time. Right. So if I put the money on Friday after 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And Monday, that money is not going to be effective until about Tuesday for my OTC stock.
Okay.
I missed out. So I literally lost track of time one day and I threw money right in my trading account at 3:59. I think I was on the call. I had to on a speakerphone at that time. I'm like, damn, I forgot to put money in my trading account. It's 3:59 and I'm rushing. I'm like, okay, I just made it by 30 seconds, because I knew on Tuesday I wanted to get in some place or buy more shares.
So it takes how long? You say more than a day?
The money has to sit there for 24 business hours. It can't be the weekend. I can't put the money there on Friday after 4 because Saturday and Sunday doesn't count. So Monday is the first business day that the money's sitting there. So I'm not able to use it for OTC stocks until and if it's a holiday, that's another delay. Right? Maybe some of the listeners already know this. Again, I'm just giving information that I found out the hard way,
Yeah. Yes.
So Andrew, if you were gonna buy some OTC stocks on, say, TD Ameritrade, let's just say you put it in Monday at 3 p.m. So you would have to let Tuesday pass and buy your stock Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, 24 hours, yeah. And you gotta, what you said, the cutoff time is like before 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the stock market closes at 4 p.m. But some trading platforms like Robinhood, I believe they allow you to buy and trade stocks up until 6 p.m. But when you trade stocks after the market closes, you have to click a button that's called I believe it says post-market trading.
Mhm.
Okay. But when you trade early or late, it's volatile. Okay. It's more risky and it's volatile, just so you know. If I'm trading at 4 a.m., I may see some crazy prices that look like it's a good sell, but it's more volatile.
Yeah.
If I'm trading at 7:30 p.m., I may see some crazy prices, but again, it's more volatile.
Because what happened is sometimes they drive the price up or down. They drive it up purposely. So when the market opens, so in other words, let's just say you're in pre-market. Some of those prices are being driven up by day traders who may have some news on a stock. And what they're going to do is drive it up. So, when the market open, they'll take the profit at its highest, and then it's going to start dropping, and then you lose your money because you bought it at that high price. So it's good for you guys to know that too, that, give example, let's use Ford. So if Ford is $5 today, and then, you read on Sunday night, you see it that Ford have some great news and Ford should go up. So you go into there thinking, okay, as soon as the market open, I'm going to buy Ford, and Ford is like $20. Price is really driven up. So you got that Ford at $20, and you're like, man, it should go from 20 to 25, 20 to 30. You bought it at $20 when it was actually $5. Day traders done drove that price up to $20, and you getting in it at $20 thinking, okay, because of the news, it's going to keep going. And that thing come right back down to about $7. Day traders just use the opportunity to make some money and run and go on the beach for the rest of the day.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's a good thing to know because,
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, you're right. So basically, what is the best time during the day? Like if you're not day trading. So basically, what is the best time? Is there a time frame?
I'm gonna break it down for you. See, when 9:30 hits, be aware. You see, by the time about 11, they might be out. But day traders they're gonna be doing day trade at any time, obviously. But the main time, let's just say 9:30 to 11. So 9:30 a.m. to about 11. Then they're done for the day pretty much. So when you're watching stocks for that day, and most of the stocks that day traders are playing with, you're gonna see, let's use IDEX for example. Let's just say IDEX decide to have a little bull run. And let's say it opens at 340. And let's just say it goes to $11. Man, day traders, it went up, but day traders done put that pump in there, threw some money in there, and they take profit, and that stock comes down from $11. Say 11 p.m. comes, and it comes down from $11 to about, it opened at 3, comes down from 11 to about 5. So you're like, oh my God, man, I could have made all that money. Day traders ran away with your money and their money. So now after 11, you took your money because it came down to $5. So you jumped out like a day trader. And then you're not a day trader, but you saw your money go down. And then 11:30 hits. And that same stock that went to 11 and came down to 7 is now at $30. They tricked you. You didn't have patience. You didn't realize stocks do this. Day traders are playing with you, and you literally have to be patient and wait for a stock to go back up. And lots of people run, but day traders are smart. They make that quick money and they bounce. Or if they know that it's going to go back up to $30, they buy back in at that 11:30, and Friday they get you. Whenever, remember, Friday's the weekend. So what do people do on the weekend? They want to, the markets close on the weekend. So what do you think is happening on Friday, especially about in, like to the market close, what do you think is going to happen? Most times they're selling, same thing happened on 9:30 to about the same time, 11. They're selling to go on a beach, and you're lucky if you go into, a weekend with your stocks going up, on a Friday evening. There's a great possibility because the day traders might have been on the beach from about 11 after they done took their money, took their profit and bounced for the weekend. So you got to pay attention to stocks, and you kind of can see when the day traders are at work. So
Gotcha.
just watch the time, mainly from 9:30 to about 11 a.m. Just watch stocks. You'll
Alright.
see stocks do it. You'll see stocks do it. It's like, I don't really look for stocks to take off. Yeah, listen, my portfolio could be at a certain number, and I'd be like, yep, day traders. As soon as they leave, my stock go right back up. Yep. And it do that like every day. It comes down and then it goes back up midday. Yep. And as a matter of fact, a lot of stocks go up after hour.
Mhm.
You ever buy a stock, you ever miss a stock at 340 because you're like, man, I should have bought it. It's after hour now. And then after hour, that thing is up like crazy. Like, oh my God, I missed it. And then by the morning come around, so if you missed it on Monday, by the time Tuesday come around, you're like, man, I'm gonna jump in tomorrow. Man, that price done dropped because day traders tricked you and took that money and ran.
Golly. Oh.
Ran to the beach, man. Hey, they always on the beach by about 12 o'clock, midday, waiting to come get the money again the next day, next morning. Yep.
Gotcha. Got it.
But don't panic.
Did not know that one.
Your portfolio, just watch your stocks. You'll see they dip at a certain time. And then by a certain time, they start going back up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen for a little bit and share. We haven't spoken much about SOS, so I'm gonna share my screen and just show my SOS for a second, because I know we had told a couple people to research SOS, and I haven't heard much people say anything about it or come back and let us know, hey, if they got into that play, how they're doing. Some of the members that we shared it with, we haven't really heard back from them as to what's happening. And, we would like, to keep our group to inform each other of what's really going on. We wish a lot more people would be a little bit more transparent and just, come and share with us what's actually happening and not just take the information and do their own research and kind of, because I don't keep things to myself. That's why I'm on the channel, is to make sure that we're sharing and helping each other. Because I know for sure, Alan and Pierre, you guys don't, keep the information to yourself, and neither do I. You let us know how your stocks are actually doing. Alan, I know every time we on here, you come and you share old plays and you share new plays with us. So you're constantly letting us know what's going on. I'm gonna share the SOS right now. So you guys can see the screen. Should be able to see my screen now, right?
No, I don't see it.
No?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, never mind. I'm using my phone, so I had to toggle to another screen.
Okay, Anna, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I am.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm brushing my teeth. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I thought she was eating.
No, I'm brushing my teeth, but yes, I am.
She eating toothpaste.
Yes, I am.
Hey, you see, I just met her, and it's like, look at that. You never know who you meet. And it's like there's so many people out there, it's like each other, you know, and you just never know, man. Sometimes you just gotta give a helping hand and someone else would help back, and that's all it takes because yes, I'm Jamaican, and yes, Anna is Jamaican, and we can relate, but it's not just the culture that relates. I relate to all walks of life, and it's a good thing when I can meet people and know that you can give everybody a chance, to show who they really are. You may meet someone that they may not be as outgoing in the beginning, but maybe they become that. So I'm not I'm not one to judge because I give people chances. So I'm glad that I'm able to, be able to deal with everyone the best way that I can. And the minute I met you, Anna, I was laughing and joking with you, and it's like I knew you. Like it's crazy, and it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you're Jamaican.
I know, right? I know, right?
Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna get into it now and show it. So SOS right now, 652, and Alan know that it went to. Let me see if I can bring up where it went to. I don't think I had recorded that, so I'm gonna have to use memory. If Alan can back me up on this, I believe SOS went to $15. Correct me if you can, Alan.
I would have to double check my chart.
I'm pretty sure. Just wanted to be, the backup. But yeah, it went $15. Just needed a little confirmation, but I'm sure it went to $15. You know. Right now it came back down to 652. So anyone that got into this play, I hope they're still holding. If you could see my screen, it says 270 shares. Average cost 268. I tried to jump on this stock before it actually go past $3, and I was able to accomplish that. It wasn't quite like when I bought Marathon Patent on the $2, but I started buying this over $2. But again, here it is, 270 shares. Yeah. My return so far is 1,040. Call it that, 1,040. And if you go up here, equal it to, okay, I invested $720, into this stock and got 270 shares. So the higher the cost, which is 260 per share, the more money I had to put in. So now imagine I had caught this stock a little bit earlier under $2. So now you're talking about me putting in like a $400 for the same 270 shares. So this is what I was talking about when I said value, valued stocks. Buying a stock that should actually be $10, but buying it under $2 would be a great, great, great investment. And this is what we tried to do, me and Alan, and Pierre and everybody that's on here. We're trying to find the stocks that we can share and that you guys can do your research on and get in at the low cost. And if it begins to drop, buy more. So for those people who we actually shared this stock with, again, it went to $15 and right now is at 652. And as you can see, I haven't sold no shares. I have 270 and I don't plan on selling no shares because this value, I don't believe is where it's supposed to be, especially that it went to $15. And normally, once you create a high of 15 and Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is not quite here all the way yet, and it went to 15 already, I am of the belief that this is really going to go high, and I'm banking on that. So my 270 shares, I'm not selling. If anything, I would buy more, but I'm not going to do that here in Robinhood. And I have bought more. So in Wells Fargo, I have an extra 40 shares. So I have over 300 shares of SOS, because I have 40, I think it's 41 shares in Wells Fargo. So it's over 300 shares that I have. But in Wells Fargo, I bought it at $4. So I'm only $2.50 up in my Wells Fargo because I bought it higher. I try not to buy more shares in Robinhood so I can show you guys these examples of buying lower. But as I was telling you guys about saving in your stocks, I'm literally saving for my retirement by having the extra 40 shares at a higher cost. Because imagine someone learns about SOS when SOS is $30. They're still going to buy it because let's just say Bitcoin went to $150,000 and this goes to $30, just giving a figure. So people may say, you know what? And analysts say it all the time, Bitcoin's probably going to go to $300,000. So people are still going to buy this SOS at $30. If they're buying Tesla at $700-800, they definitely gonna buy SOS at $30, because that's still kind of cheap to them. But I got it down here, and they're buying it up there when it's $30. So that's why you want to do your research and try to get into plays a lot earlier or a lot sooner than later. So again, even if it does go to $30, I'm still gonna buy by saving in it. If it's still got upside to go, I'm gonna save in it. So just imagine this was Google and I kept saving. Even if I had 300 shares of Google, I still saved in it because they started out, I meant not Google, I meant Amazon. Alan mentioned all the time, Amazon started with books. So if I had sold when it, got a little bit more to offer than books, because I didn't know where the stock was going to go, I made some profit. But if I didn't sell all my shares and kept some, I would still be profiting from Google today. I mean, from Amazon today. So that's why it's not a good idea to sell all your shares of companies that you believe in. So if you have 500 shares, sell maybe 300 and keep 200. Sell maybe 400 and keep 100. At least you have something in case it goes crazy. You don't want things to go crazy by taking out, I just believe in never sell all your shares. So for those who got into SOS, there's the performance from when I mentioned it and it went to $15 and it's down to $6.52. Now, my belief is I don't know where Bitcoin is right now. I'm not looking at it. But maybe this come down tomorrow, or maybe it goes up. Let's see what performance Bitcoin is going to do. If it's at, I think this was what it was. Well, not think. I know this was what it was on Friday, and Bitcoin has gone up over the weekend. So unless it dropped below what it was Friday, then this shouldn't come down. It should go up. So if I can remember right, I think Bitcoin was about 57 dollars. So if it's at 59 and fluctuating from 59 to 60 to 61 back down to 59, then that would mean SOS should be going up, Monday morning. But it doesn't matter to me really if it goes from $6 to $7 and gain 52, gain another 50 cents or 48 cents. It doesn't really matter to me right now because that's not what I'm looking. I'm not looking to get out. I'm looking for it to go back to 15 and past that. And I'm just gonna continue to pay attention to it. So just to give an example of SOS. Yep. Well, there we go, guys. Let me stop sharing my screen. Just wanted to do that because, we don't know who is paying attention out there that we may have shared SOS and they did their research and got into the play. I at least wanted to show, the performance of the SOS to show that I'm still in a win-win situation. I didn't run because it went down from $15. It doesn't bother me that it went from $15. So that means I had more money. That means, Alan, you say it all the time. I said loss. You said, nope, that's not a loss. Because I'm still in profit. I bought it at 268.
It's called a paper loss. You don't realize the loss until you sell.
Yep, and I didn't sell, so I guess I didn't realize I lost.
Correct.
Yes, sir. But open up to any questions and suggestions, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. We always say 8:30 to 9:30, but no, I guess we making money.
You know what it is, man? Money will keep you up at night.
Oh man, we just so
You're absolutely right about that because it's keeping me up right now.
Hey.
And that's what some people say. Money is not everything. You're right. Money is a tool. It all depends on how you use it. That's all.
Yep.
Money, think about it. Money is just a worthless piece of paper. You could rip it up and it's worthless, burn it and it's worthless. But it is a tool when used the right way. It could cause you to, it could cause your life to be easier.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why we're on this call at night. Even if we're sleepy, we gotta go to, some of us are 9 to 5s in the morning, but money will keep you up.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm very passionate and very excited, man, because I never knew. I thought I was managing money before, with my nonprofit. My son is here, and man, we were doing very well with our fundraisers, and COVID hit us. So just out there getting more than you need, is a blessing when you run a nonprofit. Seeing you need 500,000 and you got 1 million, seeing you need 2 million and you got 4 million. It just goes to show you that, if people put their mind to something and have a plan, it'll really work itself out. And that's what also keeping me up. The fact that I could share my experience with you guys of running our nonprofit and knowing how you can need $50,000 and you get 100, and so on and so on. And knowing and asking myself when COVID hit, why don't I make sure other people know this? Teach people what you know. Some people some people probably don't have the time to put in to research in this, or they don't know how. So on your channel, you can make people aware of this. We may not have a big audience right now, or from those 800 plus subscribers, we don't know who's watching, but the videos are here to be seen. And I'm not an expert, but I will become one. I wasn't always great at basketball, but I got there. So right now, money is being made. And I'm by no means where I want to be yet, but it's certainly a blessing to be on the way. They say the glory is actually in the beginning. It's not actually at the end. And what I mean by that is when I do become a millionaire, and when a number of us here, or all of us here, reach that goal as well, but let me use myself as example. When I do become a millionaire and I get some things that, maybe buy a company, start another company, do a little bit more investment with that money that is going to be made. I want to continue to invest whatever is made. So I'll be in a better position to buy things, invest in things, more things, always making your money work for you. And that will be glorified. I'll feel glorified when I'm there. If I'm kicking up in a big house, knowing that I bought this with all the time that we stayed on here and put in, and literally this could happen overnight. Because me and Alan, we bought a lot of SANP, and literally this can happen. You can wake up tomorrow, and based off of what we are a part of, you could literally wake up like GameStop, and let's just say that happens and we make it there. You'd be so surprised how right where we at right now, it's like it's more fun working towards getting there. You never want to forget building the floor. You never want to forget building the floor. You never want to forget when you take your first step. Never want to forget that. So I'm not going to forget the grind of going where we going. Because when we get there and we're kicking back and drinking some beers and stuff like that, we have to be reminiscing about, man, you remember those meetings, man? Yo, you know how many people we helped? Yo, dude, I'm glad you're here with me, man. I'm glad you stuck it out. Those are great things to be, to think of, man. And that's where I'm at right now. The fact that I've built a company and I'm building through stocks, it's almost like I can already see the future because I saw where I was going with my company, and I never changed. I just continue to believe. And people look at me like, oh my God, you don't quit. No, that's because I'm not a quitter. I always keep going. But in my older age, I was able to learn, take advantage more now than you ever did. And I can leave you guys with this. When I moved to Florida, I tried a lot of things before I moved. And I never gave up on these things, but some of these things were a lesson to the accomplishments that I got through my program. I've always said, man, where am I going to find the money to start my own business? So when I moved to Florida, I did not have that money So I started working at the Breakers Hotel as a security. And I met Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, at the Breakers Hotel. And I was training my son how to play baseball. And I used to go to work, almost late, probably every single day. Started at 11, got off at 7 overnight. And Mr. Kraft, he still have his place there. And he would always want me to, help him with his luggage, up to his room. He would always talk to me. And I was just volunteering at the recreation center, helping, my son and helping other people's kids. And people saw how I was working with my son. And I just got into helping other people's kids. So he asked me what I did. And I told him this job, plus I used to sing. I don't do it anymore. I thought better of leaving my son to go chase a dream of being a singer. I figure you've been doing that all your young life. You need to let that go. You got a son now, you got to put time into him. So I started making baseball. I built the bond with my son, throwing baseball back and forth, not even knowing that I was going to make my son have a strong arm. My son has been through quite a lot in baseball. He's actually a great baseball player. He's a great pitcher, and I built that bond with him. But Mr. Kraft told me, he said, you seem like a very ambitious man. Being that you volunteer with your recreation center, what do you want to do with what you're doing? I said, maybe one day I want to start my own business. And he said, why don't you go to your recreation center and why don't you let them know you want to run their basketball program? And he said, by the way, the NFL is a not-for-profit. I was like, huh? What do you mean it's a not-for-profit? What do you mean? And he said, you ever heard the word salary? Whenever you hear salary, most likely that's a nonprofit. He said, we use nonprofits. It's like, you ever heard of a 501c3? And he said, check it out. So funny thing is, I didn't know Mr. Kraft that well, but he spoke to me every chance he got and taught me about how the NFL and how the NBA, all these guys were making salary because they're part of a nonprofit organization, or they use nonprofit organizations to get sponsors. So it's amazing what you learn when you listen to people and when people see that you want to do something in life. And that's how I got to where I'm going. And I literally was failing before not having money. Credit wasn't good, couldn't borrow any. And just because of talking to Mr. Kraft, Patriots owner, because I worked a job where he lives in Palm Beach, Florida, the Breakers Hotel. He has a place there and I used to work there as an overnight security. And this man told me how to take zero and start a business. Zero. Just by going to my recreation center. And by going to my recreation center, all I had to do was set up my own nonprofit, which I paid small amount of money to do. I learned what to do on my own and started my own nonprofit, paid for it myself, did it all myself. Then went to the lawyer and had him put my business plan in place. My same lawyer put my business plan in place, but I already registered the organization all on my own from listening to Mr. Kraft. And I did my own research and went to the rec center with my business, with the business plan, and they hired me as an independent contractor to run their program and gave me opportunities to raise money from zero. So from there on out, when I put my mind to something, that taught me a whole lot of lessons that I need to deal with people I need to treat people right. I need to come together. I need to give people a chance, and I want the same thing back. Treat people how you want to be treated. And I've been living like that. And when my car broke down in front of Alan's house, I already knew, right? This is a good young man right here. You know, nobody had it. Listen, sometimes you meet some people and you just want to run. I get those feelings, you know, and I may be running and the dude or whoever may say, why are you running? I'm like, yo, I don't know. I'm just getting away. Like, who are you? I'm like, I don't really want to stop and talk to you right now. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you know you got to get out of there. You don't want to talk to that person. Sometimes you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to ask that person for help. I'm going to talk to that person. The same way when I'm building the YouTube channel. Sometimes I'm delivering, and sometimes I look at the person, I'm like, I ain't talking to you. Next time I look at the person, I'm like, hi, how are you? Here's what I do. You know, so I'm a good judge. Sometimes you can judge wrong too. You know, before I met Anna, she'll tell you what I told her. Anna, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. When I came to your door, you remember me telling you you got the crackers. What did I say to you?
I can't remember.
All right, so I'm gonna refresh your
I'm trying to
memory.
remember, but I don't remember. I mean, we
All right,
were
remember.
talking about go ahead, I'm listening.
All right, so when I was at the store picking up the order before I brought it to you, there was a person bringing out, because they bring out the order to us, and the lady brought it out and she was like, yeah, you could help me put it in, because some stores don't allow you to put it in, but this lady was like, no, you can help me put it in. So I began to joke with the lady and she thought I was pretty funny, and she's like, where you from? I said, I'm Jamaican. And then I said, she was like, oh, are you from Jamaica? I'm like, yes, I am. And she's like, oh, okay, it's the first time I'm seeing you over here. I said, yeah, the wind blew me over here. And she said, yeah, I said, the wind blew me over here. And she said, you're a pretty funny guy. I said, thank you. I don't think I am, but I guess it just comes out like that sometimes, you know. And she was like, well, I like your energy, you know. And I said, by the way, you know, I have a YouTube channel. Can you please subscribe? And she said, sure, I'll subscribe to your channel. What do you do? I told her what I do. And I told her I have the Airbnb in Jamaica. And she said, hey, when I'm going to Jamaica, you know, maybe me and my family can stay at your Airbnb. I said, you know what? This happens all the time. That's why I love talking to people, because every time I'm telling someone about my YouTube channel, it's mainly about, listen, I have an Airbnb in Jamaica. If you're ever in Jamaica, you know, listen, you could stay at the Airbnb, period. They're like, yeah, I love it. I'm going to share it with all my friends. And I said, by the way, I'm packing these groceries. I see some crackers up in here, some Jamaican crackers. I know I'm delivering this to a Jamaican.
I remember.
Now you remember. Now you remember. I told you the story.
Yes, you did.
I said, I know
There's some Jamaican. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I came outside with a Jamaican accent and you started laughing.
Yep. I certainly laughed. I was dying because I was like, I knew it. So before I met you, I was already knowing, okay, this person is Jamaican, you know. And if you weren't Jamaican, I was going to ask you, what you know about Jamaican crackers?
There was a whole bunch of them. And you came outside and you said to me, I know there's some Jamaican up here, and I laughed and I said, yep, that's my brother.
Yeah, man. You know, I get along with all people, man, and I'm proud of it, you know, and no matter what it is, man, every time I drive by Alan's house every morning, I'm looking to see if he's outside. And then And then I met Pierre after, and every time I drive, I'm looking to see, okay, where's Pierre? Hey, man, why you guys ain't outside when I'm leaving? And when I'm coming home, I do the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Alan's probably, oh, nope, both cars is there. Unless the one in the garage is gone. That's how we live, man.
That's good, man. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah. That's why I met you that morning. He said, if I wasn't drinking my coffee outside, hey, I would have known you guys talking about stocks. And then I've been dying just to get to it. It just that day, and then boom, the click, it happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yep. Well, it's 11:23 now, man. So
Yeah.
But we gonna be here till 7:30 in the morning.
Vacation's over for me.
Me too. I gotta get my son in school tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well, my son's done with school.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. Unfortunately, it's not so for me. I have 11 more years, and then we can talk.
Oh boy. I just started.
Wow.
Oh,
You
yeah.
started, right? Yeah. Alan too, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Alan has a lot of kids, man. Pray for me. Pray for me.
Alan, you have a land. Alan, you have a land of kids. That's why your name is Alan.
A lot of kids, man. A lot of kids.
See, I told you I wasn't funny. Alan, I'm trying to say a land. Alan, how did I make that up? I don't know.
Yeah. I used to be a singer. That's why.
Yeah, man, used to. I stopped singing years now. Yep.
What kind of song? I mean,
R&B.
what type of song?
R&B.
R&B? What?
Yeah, man, I'm
R&B
a
singer.
lover. I'm a lover. Yes, sir.
I haven't heard
Okay.
R&B music in years. Years.
You ain't gonna hear it this year. No, I'm just
You know what? You may be right. I'll go listen to some what? What's the new artist nowadays? What's those artists nowadays?
What are they singing? Maybe they drop off the B. they singing the RN. They drop off the B. Yep, RN. I don't know what they singing these days. Some of it is good, but I like what Chris Brown is doing. Yeah, a little pop and R&B
Hey.
in there.
Hey guys.
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm gonna upload. I just got a service call, so I have to run out to it.
Yeah, look at that. You're still with us, man. What's up, man? You were sleeping?
No. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm listening to everything.
You're quiet though.
I'm doing other stuff I'm doing some paperwork in the meantime,
That's why, because the Andrew I know, boy. You already know.
Yeah, I just got a furnace call, so I'm gonna have to go light some of the furnace for them right now. It's got back cold up here. It's supposed to go down to like 18 degrees tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
the other day it was like 60, almost 70 degrees.
Yeah.
72 degrees, and then now tonight it's gonna be like 18. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Andrew, before you go, what state are you in?
I'm in Connecticut.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Well, we chilling down here in Florida.
I know, yeah. Don't say it. Why are you talking, man? Don't say that, dude.
South Florida.
No, don't say that, man. Yeah,
As a matter of fact, I'm outside.
I don't know what a
what
furnace is, man.
You don't know what a furnace is?
Yeah, I don't even know what snow is.
Yeah. When was it? Like I think yesterday was 72. Yeah, yesterday was 72, but and then now tonight 18, and I think a couple more days in the week supposed to be like in the 20s at night. Like in the daytime, I think it's gonna be like 40 something, but yeah, but at night it's gonna drop down back to like in the 20s. It's a weird
Wow.
thing.
Well,
Very weird.
Andrew, all I can say right now is that my AC is on right now.
Yo, the only thing, you know, with you guys hitting them 100 degrees, when you guys hitting them 102s and stuff like that, we're gonna be chilling up here. All right, so you guys have some crazy temperature down here, like 101, 105.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, man.
You can boil a egg outside.
Hey, listen, that's why we got the nice beaches, man.
Yeah, 103 degrees out. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But we're not used to this stuff, though. This is not, you know what I mean? This is not our thing. So at some point, we're going to have to bail out of this cold weather and stuff like that because I'm sick of it too now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wasn't built for this because being in the cold, after a while, it takes a toll on you, you know?
Yep.
Run your body down because you're not getting enough sun, no vitamin D, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so I have my band running, so when I started already, so I'm gonna head out and we'll link up. And every day I learn something new, so I learn a lot tonight, you know.
Yeah, no problem, man. One of these days in the week we can come on and chop it up and talk about, you know, a little bit different. We haven't spoken in a while, so you know, we can come on, me and you, and you know, kick it about some topic.
Yeah.
But do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget your jacket.
I got one in the truck already, so I keep one in there because, you know.
Andrew, don't worry, man. We'll be worrying during hurricane season. You're gonna be laughing.
You see? Yeah, there you go.
We're trying to scoop up all the water.
Though, if you really I was looking at it, and the hurricane is getting more and more frequent now, so you know.
Oh yeah.
We're trying to scoop up all the water, gasoline, batteries.
Yeah, cause even I think last year in December, wasn't there like a hurricane in December or something like that?
Yes, sir. I had water. I had water in my dining room and water in my living room.
Oh my God!
That's how bad it was.
That's what climate change doing, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It sucked.
All right, man, I got up out, so you know.
All right, man.
All right, Drew.
I invite a couple people, but only one show up. Nadia show up, so.
Oh, that's who Nadia is. Hi, Nadia.
Yeah. And I saw when you share your thing, that girl Aneta. Aneta, like I think what was it last week or the week before? Yeah, Aneta. Yeah, she was the girl that I tell you that was in Jamaica, my cousin. Yeah, I guess maybe she got on because I saw it on your email that she was invited in there. But there was a couple other people down there that couldn't get on, and maybe it's their thing. I was having issues, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Nadia is muted and just listening. I haven't heard a word.
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, finally.
I'm also doing other things.
Hey, look, some people work 9 to 5, some people work midnight shift. So
no, multitasking.
Oh, multitasking, okay.
Housework.
Yeah, I try to change diapers and I try to change diapers and trade stocks at the same time.
So was we informative?
I'm sorry?
Were we informative?
Yes, very. The only stocks that I have right now that I invest in is through my job. So I'm looking forward to branching out in other areas.
Yeah, definitely. Well, some information. I know we've been through quite a few, you know, today, but just want to be sure that you know, and that you guys know that valued stocks, you know, are the ones to look in right now. You know, that's probably what's going to do it right now. You know, like especially what you call it, vaccine stuff, because you know they're coming around the corner where we need more vaccines. So just keep an eye, do your research on some vaccine stocks, because I do believe that those stocks that are low right now is not, that's not the price that they're going to remain at.
OCGN.
Yes,
before you
sir.
leave.
Yep, OCGN.
Well, good night, Savon. I'm going to bed. I got to take my son in, and I got to go to work.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
And thanks for staying with us. And for anyone,
course.
you guys could always, sign off, because we will be on here forever. So you don't let us hold you next time you come on. If you have to leave us, just you could. It's 8:30 to 9:30. So keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Okay?
Savon, this is Alan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign off myself.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to leave with one word. And I actually found this plaque at the store and I actually put it on my desk. And it reminds me why I work hard. It actually says, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations.
Yeah. Nice.
And I just wanted to leave everybody with that word, or that sentence rather. And I have it on my desk in a plaque. Difficult roads, tongue twisted, often lead to beautiful destinations.
Well said.
I like that one.
Well, I already got it written down now.
Put it on your desk, man.
All right, guys, be safe. And we'll
All
link
right.
up, yeah.
No,
All right, brothers. All right.
Fellas, me too.
Ladies,
Sign
fellas.
out too, guys.
All right.
I want Savon, everybody else.
Have a good night.
have
Yeah.
a good trade week, guys.
Definitely.
All right.